Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto absorbs Kaguya, time travel, part 1, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. In Kaguya Otsutsuki's personal dimension 9 copies of our hero, Naruto Uzumaki, sage, reincarnation of the son of the sage of 6 paths, Rikido Sannin, Ashura, and the only hope for humanity to be free of the infinite Tsukiyomi. Gathered their chakra mixed with that of all the tailed beasts, to launch an attack in order to weaken the Mad Rabbit Goddess and avenge the death of Obito Uchiha. But the distraction provided by Sasuke Uchiha's perfect Susanoo, Naruto was able to sever the arm holding Black Zetsu and strike Kaguya with the 9-tailed beast Rasen Shuriken. The chakra of the tailed beasts reacted to their tailed beast's chakra that was absorbed by Kaguya and released it in a chaotic monster that resembled nothing in its whole, but in individual parts, a resemblance of each tailed beast could be seen. The chakra monstrosity formed arms and reached out mindlessly trying to grab and absorb any life in search of the consciousness that once guided it. Sasuke and Naruto were saved by the intervention of one of Naruto's shadow clones, pushing them out of the way. Sakura Haruno, crush of Naruto's early life and mindless fangirl of Sasuke Uchiha, the third member of Team 7, and Pinkhead, unfortunately had no such convenient savior nearby. A chakra arm was reaching for her far too fast for her to evade. Sasuke was too far away and had too little time to save her with the powers of his Sharingan. It seemed the world would be down a pink-headed fangirl. Tragic. Fortunately there was one more person on their side helping them fight Kaguya. Kakashi Haddock, the sensei of the three and the wielder of the Sharingan that he received as a gift from the late Obito Uchiha. While previously Kakashi had lost the use of the Sharingan, as a final posthumous gift from Obito, the power was restored and strengthened. Kakashi formed a perfect Susanoo and saved his Kunoichi student in the nick of time. Obito, thank you. Kakashi thought, let's watch over this new generation together. This time I will protect them and the entire world. Alright Kakashi-sensei. Naruto cheered. That's impossible, he lost the use of his Sharingan. Team, nothing's impossible with the author and fans on your side. Shut up dope. We're not allowed to break the fourth wall, remember? Right. Plot. I have a plan. Would this plan involve hanging yourself in an attempt to kill via nosebleed? Because you already tried that and it didn't work. Hey, it let me get a hit, didn't it? Anyway, I need you and Kakashi-sensei to hold down the beast while I prepare a way to get its chakra back to the tailed beasts. I like the first plan better. Are you sure you don't want to try sexy on it? Maybe tailed beast's harem? I know for a fact the two tails are said to be one frisky kitty. Team, just shut up and get to work. Do I have to? That thing is huge and I think it's going to explode. That's what she said. The gray-haired sensei cut in as he pulled out his Icha Paradise and somehow made the Mangekyou Sharingan eye smile. Listen to your teammate Sasuke, he is the reincarnation of the sage of 6 paths true heir. The two massive chakra constructs surged forwards, materializing swords trying to stall the chakra monster. They focused on cutting any hands that grew out from the main body and trying to get closer to the main body. Naruto, meanwhile, was meditating, creating a chakra beacon of sorts to lure the mindless chakra into the bodies of their originators. Well, he could easily do this if it was just Kurama, separating the chakra of 9 different beings takes a massive amount of concentration. Concentration that he lacked when the chakra beast broke free of the Sharingan wielder's attempts to contain it. The unstable mass suddenly expanded, knocking away the last Uchiha and his teacher. But the way clear and the beginnings of Naruto's chakra beacons attracting it like a moth to flame, it raced forward and manifested the 9 heads of the tailed beasts and promptly ate and absorbed the blonde sage, and the last thing that he heard was a female voice crying out Naruto-kun. Or perhaps it would be more appropriate to say that it incorporated Naruto rather than ate. For Naruto was alive and well, the tailed beast's chakra inside of him protecting him and allowing him to pass through to the proverbial belly of the beast. Inside, Naruto found the body of Kaguya, bound in the solid braids of chakra, trying to escape her control. The chakra was straining to get away, but was trapped by the madwoman's desperate attempts to reabsorb the rampaging chakra. While Kaguya was focusing all of her attention on subjugating the chakra of the tailed beasts, she was at her most vulnerable, as she was unable to move or absorb any other chakra, in addition to the tailed beast's demon variety. Unfortunately, although she was vulnerable to chakra, getting near enough to attack is nigh impossible due to the area of chakra that she still had control over and was using to form a protective sphere and to form tentacles to intercept any attacks. For a lesser man it would be impossible to penetrate and suicide even in success, but for a sage with the help of all 9 tailed beasts, well, let's just say that he makes the impossible routine and the routine seem impossible. Kit. We need to break through that barrier and launch her out of the sphere and away from the chakra before she gets it under control again. We need to hit her hard while she is still distracted. It may be time to use that secret you've been practicing. But the reverse harem no jutsu won't work again. At that comment Kurama let loose a sweat drop. Not jutsu, baka. You need to use the offensive one that would actually be of use in this situation. Hey, fuzzball. Don't insult the harem, no, it's plenty offensive. Sakura-chan says it is every time she hits me for using it. You're an idiot, you know. Anyway, just use them. Alright, time to break out my new ultimate, Dadabeo. Does that kid have ADHD or something? The, shall we say, exuberant teen manifested 10 shadow clones, and they all began the process of making a Rasengan. However, instead of each making their own Rasengan as he had done previously, all of them worked together to make a single big bull Rasengan variant. While this was happening, Naruto ran into an unexpected problem. 10 clones making one Rasengan, even if the sphere was the size of a big bull Rasengan, makes for a really crowded space. Personal bubble issues aside, this was completed, and what resulted was a beautiful piece of deadly art. Naruto's idea was to make a single Rasengan that channeled all of the tailed beast's powers and release it in a single direction. What resulted was a Rasengan with 9 rings of the Rasen Shuriken blades, one each for the tailed beasts, arranged in a rose-like formation, with Kurama's power on the outermost ring and Shukaku's the innermost. When the new technique was finished, the clones dispelled and the sage rushed forwards, hand outstretched just the same as when he first learned to use it, and slammed the ball of controlled chaos into the barrier. After a second of competition, the new attack pushed through the barrier. Unfortunately, immediately after, it seemed to fade out. And that, kiddies, is why you don't use untested ninjutsu in critical moments. Oh wait, I forgot to say the name of the technique, of course it wouldn't work. Sage Art. Super Tailed Beast Rasen YA Spiraling Arrow. Immediately after the heard its name called, it began to execute the second stage of its effect. The chakra of the 9 tailed beasts, each in their own respective element, launched first spiraling around each other towards their target. Then the centerpiece went out. An arrow of sage chakra, spinning in all directions, but heading straight forwards in the center of the 9 tailed beast spears. The chakra lance sped forwards and struck Kaguya in the stomach, right where the chakra core rests. The chakras drilled into her core and pierced it. This caused her to both be sent out of the chakra construct, losing control of it, and to vomit back the chakra she had stolen from everyone, including those in Infinite Tsukiyomi. With Kaguya expelled, Naruto was able to take control of the chakra and return it to the tailed beasts from which it was taken. However, there was another soul that was freed from Kaguya's control. The woman with olive tanned skin, brown hair, and green eyes formed out of the void left from the tailed beast's chakra. Naruto Uzumaki. She called, "I am the spirit of the Shinju tree and the true Juubi, the true soul of the 10-tailed beast. I was tasked by the gods to protect the chakra fruit until the one destined would take it to bring peace to the world. I believed that Kaguya would be the one to do so. Unfortunately, she became the greatest threat to the world and was able to enslave even me to her will. However, you have freed me and I have seen your will and mind. You will be the one to bring peace to this world. I give to you the true power of chakra. Use it wisely." But that said, the spirit of the Juubi passed on to observe from the realm of the gods. However, with the addition of the Juubi's gift and the power of the tailed beast's chakra, his chakra cloak changed. The horns changed from 2 into a crown of 9, and in his eyes a ring was added, circling the plus bar slit pupil. Ooh, new eye shape. Everyone knows that fancy eye shapes are the ultimate power. The jutsu, tailed beasts, crazy fangirl with hearts in their eyes, or flames, they all somehow have supernatural powers. Can't be great without the fancy eye shapes. Back in the elemental nations. Hinata, for the first time since the infinite Tsukiyomi had taken its hold on her, was able to move. Naruto-kun, you did it. Indeed, she could feel the chakra drain stop and the false world fade away. As the false world around her faded, she became aware of a figure standing in front of her. It was a man with 2 horns on his head and the signature milky white eyes of the Byakugan. This man has the Byakugan, yet he also has horns. He must be the first wielder of those eyes and the founder of our line. Greetings, honored ancestor. She spoke as she had been taught as she bowed. How can your child be of service to you? My dear child and truest heir, I am Himura Otsutsuki, the son of Kaguya Otsutsuki. You have suffered much trying to rectify the problems of our family. I have seen much with the true Byakugan, including your pure heart and the situation of the world. I can see that my brother Hagoromo, the Rikido Sannin, has given his chakra to the reincarnation of his sons. This, however, will not be enough. My mother has been resurrected along with the 10 tails. You must join your love." At that comment Hinata blushed profusely, but Himura continued on despite her near faint. "I give you my chakra and my abilities. In addition, I will give you the true Byakugan. With it you can track to where my mother will travel with her portals and close them before she can escape. Now, go my daughter, be of strong heart and do not falter on your path. When Hinata came to full consciousness, she was engulfed in a lavender aura with silver designs. Her eyes and hands were marked with 6-pointed stars. She burst out of the tree's branches and activated her Byakugan, noticing the new markings. While on the outside she didn't show any response, on the inside there was a chibi Hinata doing a happy dance with a chibi Naruto, complimenting her about her pretty new eyes. With her new eyes she found the revived Hokages, the Rikido Sennin that they were conversing with, and the remains of a portal, through which she could see Naruto, as if seen through many mirrors. Naruto-kun, I have to help him. Hinata strode to the gathering of the Hokages, intent on finding a way to reach and help her Naruto-kun. What happened since I was trapped in Infinite Tsukiyomi? She inquired of the dead men present. Who, why, and how is this man here? Who is Kaguya Otsutsuki? The sage answered, Kaguya is the one who took the chakra fruit from the Shinju tree and the one who took control of the 10 tails, trying to take monolithic control of chakra back. The reincarnations of my sons are trying to seal her and are fighting in her personal dimension. I can open a portal, but it requires a massive amount of chakra and I have given all of mine away. It will take all of the chakra of the 4 Hokages, as well as a dozen more level shinobi to open a portal, just to send one person. I will be the one to go. Hinata asserted. I will stand next to Naruto and help him to defeat both this monster and any other challenges that he faces, both as the heir to Kaguya's other son and hopefully as his wife. At that thought she had to stifle a perverted giggle at the thought of their wedding night and the revelries they would enjoy on their honeymoon. She planned to put his legendary endless energy to good use. So Naruhina, anyone? The 4th Hokage offered, planning to tell Kushina about how their son was such a ladies' man. Yeah, Naruhina sounds good. The 3rd agreed, having spent a good part of his second rule under the hat trying to get his adopted grandson to notice the Hyuga heiress. The fans have spoken, Naruhina it shall be the Rikido Sannin confirmed. What? No option for harem? Please. Naruto is the only guy worth chasing right now. Ino Yamanaka had freed herself and arrived just in time to catch the beginning of the pairing discussion. Ever since Naruto had defeated Kakuzu and avenged Asuma, she had felt a small crush the size of one of Hinata's blushes for the blonde sage. He has shadow clones, I definitely share a guy who can make hundreds of himself at once. Tenten had always kept an eye on Naruto as a good husband ever since he had defeated Neji in his first Chunin exams. He has a good heart and wouldn't abuse it and would love us all equally and unconditionally. Tamari had wanted to be with Naruto ever since he had given her brother a reason to live and love her as family, especially when she compared his energy to Shikamaru's sloth. He is the ultimate alpha Hana, and Tsu Minyazuka had their eyes on being part of the Jinchuriki's pack ever since he defeated Gaara in his first Chunin exam. It has tasty blood. Anko Mitarashi even wanted in, being hooked on his blood from the first time she had a lick trying to freak the kid out. If a guy like that is available I might have to apologize to Ao for suggesting I need a man. May, declaring loudly her intentions, Tsunade, who had a heavy blush at all the female attention her adoptive grandson was receiving, and the other 3 cages had arrived on the scene. He's a cool guy. Indeed even Kumo Samui and her friend Carrie had crushes on the number 1 hyperactive knucklehead. He makes for giving the 4th Hokage worth it. Kuritsuchi, the granddaughter of the greatest hater of the 4th Hokage, even fell to the charm of his blue eyes. That's my boy Naruto. Jiraiya-sensei has taught you well in the ways of women. I wonder how many other women have fallen for you. Unknown to the proud father and Anbu captain, the younger sister of the Hyuga heiress, the last Sartobi's female friend, the waitress at a certain ramen stand, a priestess in Demon Country, multiple female daimyos, and many more all sneezed at the same time. Back with Naruto. I monster. You don't belong in this world. Shouted Naruto, brandishing his whip. It was not by my hand that I am once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wished to pay me tribute. Kaguya responded, sitting on a throne created from her chakra and sipping a glass of red chakra fruit juice in her magically restored hand. Tribute you steal men's souls and make them your slaves. Perhaps the same could be said of all religions. Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you. What is a man? She threw her glass to the ground shattering it. A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Sasuke and Kakashi stood off to the side, sweat dripping at the ridiculous scene and cheesy voices. That sounds copyrighted. Kakashi mumbled in disbelief as he watched Naruto continually jump to hit the madwoman in the head. Naruto. Enough playing around. We need to seal her. Naruto dispelled his whip and summoned some shadow clones and sent them to keep Kaguya occupied and groups of them into his other teammates to create a distraction. Alright, my team, Kakashi, began. I have a plan that should work. The next minute the plan began. A group of Naruto clones attacked from the front in a full frontal assault. She dispelled a few with small bone projectiles and had to dodge a few sloppy punches, but with great speed behind them. While she was distracted, Naruto and Sasuke rushed from both sides with arms outstretched. When she saw this, she manifested two all-killing ash bones and used them to pierce the two teens. After a 10-second, both of the boys dispersed into the smoke of dispelled shadow clones. In the moment of confusion, the rabbit goddess left herself open. With the only warning being a nearing cry of Naruto, Kaguya Sakura Haruno, in her pink-headed glory, had been thrown by Naruto. With a bit of luck and skilled reflexes, she was able to trap Kaguya in a full Nelson. Oh, a full Nelson. You think this will hold me? Kaguya struggled for a short while with no results. Okay, let me go. Struggles a little more. Really, let me go. While the horned woman was occupied trying to escape the pink-headed woman, the two reincarnations of the Sage of Six Path Suns moved to complete the sealing. Naruto and Sasuke moved forwards and made contact, each with a mark of the Rikido Sannin. Seal mark spread across the woman's pale skin. The seal had activated and gravity was increasing around the woman, drawing in the surrounding earth to form the prison. While this was happening, the neglected Black Zetsu whispered across the distance to the minds of the two shinobi, each in turn. Naruto, you cannot cooperate with the treacherous Uchiha. He betrayed your home, severed your bonds, plans to steal the position that you have strived for your whole life, and has already stolen the heart of the girl you love. Take the power of the seal, strike him down, and take what is yours. I trust the team. Even though he broke our bonds, even though he will take Sakura-chan away from me, I still see him as my brother and will not betray him. Sasuke Uchiha, last of your clan, an avenger. You know that if you allow this to go on as the sage wishes, that your clan will once again fall from your rightful place as heir to slaves under the descendants of the Uzumaki. You must take power from the seal while it is weak. Kill the descendant of Ashura, claim the chakra that is rightfully yours back from him, and return your clan to its rightful place. I don't need you to tell me what to do, freak. But their internal conflicts resolved, both of the shinobi turned their attention from the sealing process to the pinned Black Zetsu. Naruto hit him with a wind style. Rasen Shuriken that Sasuke augmented with the powers of Amaterasu. Black Zetsu burned to less than dust and was scattered across the dimension. With the final obstacle to peace removed, Naruto released his chakra cloak and let out a victorious whoop that soon turned into a bloody cough, courtesy of Sasuke's sword piercing his heart. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I can't let you stand in the way of my ambition. I intend to restore the Uchiha clan to its former glory and beyond. I can't allow your foolish ambition to become Hokage stop me from taking that position myself and placing the Uchiha clan as the rightful rulers of Konohagakure, Leaf Village, and the entire elemental nations. Now I just need to finish you off, take the chakra that the mad old fool should have given me in the first place, tell everyone you died heroically creating an opening for me to seal the 10 tails, and I will be well on my way to my goal. I'm sorry, Naruto, but it's time for you to die. As he said these words, he readied his sword to decapitate our blonde hero. Before the blow could be struck, the last Uchiha was forced to leap back, dodging a kunai before it pierced his brain. Kakashi had sped to congratulate them for the sealing and prepared a way home when he heard the ranting of his wayward student and intervened. Sakura tends to Naruto while I hold off the Uchiha. The Jonin was back in sensei mode and having flashbacks of the many times he had failed to protect his comrades. Sasuke, I thought you had finally learned the first lesson I tried to teach you. Those who disobey the rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. I recognize the darkness in you, but failed to remove it. You should not have been allowed to become a ninja with your attitude. It seems that I must now rectify my mistake. With his speech said, Kakashi manifested his perfect Susanoo and prepared to hold Sasuke off. During his preparations, he glanced back to check on Sakura to check how well Naruto was doing, to see Sakura standing still, glancing between Naruto and Sasuke and shaking her head. Sakura had never truly matured from her academy days of mindlessly fawning over Sasuke. She still believed herself madly in love with him and that there actually was a possibility of a happy future for them together. The only true part of her delusions was the madness. Sasuke had no affection for her, and even if they were by a cruel twist of fate brought together, she would fail to bring him out of darkness and be trapped with a cruel and uncaring man. I have to heal Naruto, but Sasuke-kun wants him dead. If I heal him, Sasuke-kun might get mad at me and not love me. What can I do? Sakura was having an internal crisis, reliving every interaction between herself and the breeding bastard that was her crush and comparing them to her memories of the man who always supported her and always showed that he cared. As a youth, Sakura was bullied for her pink hair and large forehead. Ino had helped a few times, but when she saw a chance to escape the bullying by conforming to the schoolyard cult of Sasuke Uchiha, she couldn't resist. Her weak psyche had latched onto a false version of the brooder and grew bloated on his arrogance. Soon her psyche had become frighteningly devoted to a boy who would kill her in a second if he thought it would give him power. Opposed to the object of her obsession was the one who saw her as the object of his affection. Naruto had always been there for her, helping with bullies and always helping whenever he could. But he was unpopular, and in her weakness, she shunned anything that the mindless civilian rabble did not worship. She pushed him away, but he was still there, ready and willing to be her support and strength until she was ready to walk alone. While Sakura was busy having a fangirl breakdown, Kakashi and Sasuke were still staring at the pink head in dismay and grim amusement respectively. Hahaha. The sound of Sasuke's laugh echoed throughout the empty landscape. It seems that no matter how much she improves, Sakura will always be weak. She can't raise her hand against me even after I threaten her home, life, and friends, or even heal the person who cares for her the most after I declared I wanted him dead. It would be funny if it wasn't so sad. I have shown time and again that I have no interest in her and she still chases me. Regardless, she needs to die along with you and the dope. Nothing personal, but if any of you tell anyone I wouldn't be able to take over the world. But the exchange of talk no jutsu complete, the last two wielders of the Sharingan began to battle. In the initial Taijutsu battle they were evenly matched. In each successive move Sasuke would attack, Kakashi would see the attack with his Sharingan, try to counter, and Sasuke would see the counter and try to counter the counter. Kakashi had a slightly lesser speed due to Sasuke's boost from the naive sage, but his wartime experience and instincts allowed him to keep up. After 5 minutes of preemptive counters that did nothing, both fighters jumped back to begin forming hand signs for ninjutsu. Both formed a lightning blade and charged forwards. Again each was able to dodge the attack of the other. Seeing that normal attacks were useless, Sakura would be useless, and Sasuke would last longer with the sage's chakra, Kakashi formed his perfect Susanoo to try to finish the battle quickly. This battle also proved indecisive. As a final resort Kakashi left the construct, charged towards his student, and attempted to use Kamui to trap the last Uchiha in an alternate dimension. This too failed, and Sasuke capitalized on the momentary distraction to make a move to finish his prey. As Sasuke's Susanoo drew near to the blonde sage, a feminine figure leapt in front of it and dispelled it. When the dust cleared, the woman standing there did not have pink hair, but lavender. Hinata Hyuga had arrived. Flashback. Elemental Nations, 10 minutes ago. The Rikidou Sannin had gathered all of the volunteers around a sealing array with Hinata in the center. Alright everyone, the Rikidou Sannin took charge, you all need to channel your chakra into the seal. It will open a portal to where the reincarnations of my sons are sealing Kaguya. Once their Naruhina will happen, the 10 tails will be sealed, and once they are ready to return, Hinata will channel a small amount of chakra to the other side of the portal to alert us to open it to allow our heroes back. Hagoromo-sama, wait. Hinata called out, having seen Sasuke's betrayal with her new eyes. The Uchiha theme attacked Naruto-kun. Even worse, they used the seal on Kaguya, but it seems to be breaking. Is there any way to transfer the power and mark that you gave to the Uchiha traitor to Naruto-kun? Impossible. The boy resisted the effects of the talk, no jutsu from 4 Hokages, there truly is no hope left for him. It seems that I have once again made a mistake in choosing who to give the task of bringing peace to the world. Perhaps this child of destiny along with my brother's descendant will be the ones to create peace. After a minute of thought the sage spoke up. Yes, there is. The Haddock will need to access his white chakra and surrender the cursed gift of the Uchiha. Then he can transfer my full blessing to my true heir. The second problem is more troubling. It seems that the seal will not hold her a second time. We must finish her off. When she finishes escaping she will be weak. Take advantage and strike. You, my brother's daughter, will need to combine with my heir and a 4-point seal to remove her ability to use and absorb chakra. Go forth in strength. All of the gathered shinobi poured their chakra into making the portal. It only opened for a second, but Hinata was able to slip through and arrived just in time to save her Naruto-kun. Hinata-chan. Her love whispered, showing that he truly understood and was finally returning her affection. Don't worry Naruto-kun, I'm here. I'll get the brainless fangirl to help you and I'll take down this traitor, okay Naruto-kun. She kneeled in front of the prone hero, reminding herself of the time she first confessed to him. This time she got a nod and his full understanding before she turned away to face the deluded fool. Oh, look, the weakest Kunoichi has arrived. Said fool cackled out of everyone in Konoha, I hated you the most. You were supposed to be the heir of the only clan that could rival the Uchiha, yet you were weak, shy, and stuttering. You sickened me, and you still do. It must be the gods' blessing that so many people I want to kill are arranged so neatly in my lap. Kakashi Hinata called, ignoring the ranting of the Uchiha, hit your brainless student and got her healing Naruto. By the time that's done I'll need you to unlock your white chakra to transfer the sage's chakra and Sasuke to Naruto. We need to hurry, that seal on Kaguya is weakening and she'll be breaking out of her prison quickly. Hinata then turned to the still ranting Uchiha, once assured that Kakashi had his student back in whatever semblance she had of a right mind and prepared to take him out quickly. And that is why you will lose, and the Uchiha clan is the greatest thing to ever happen to the world. The Sharingan is the only one worth having. There is no secret power that has not been granted to the Sharingan. We have the power to screw with reality itself. Our eyes are a walking deus ex machina. And so on the madman continued to rant. Tired of waiting, Hinata dashed forward and struck the distracted emo in the two largest chakra points in the body, the eyes. Sasuke's eyes exploded out of his skull. Her control was so great that she only destroyed the eyes rather than the whole head, as would happen if a lesser Hyuga would try such a stunt. The startled Uchiha tried to use Izanagi to escape his fate of blindness, but when Hinata saw the distortion of reality forming, she gathered chakra in her hands. In one hand was the figure of a white angel stretching out its swan wings, and the other held the dark snarling visage of a demon. She leapt into the forming distortion and weaved her hands back and forth, leaving trails of the opposing chakra in their wake. She danced a dance that she didn't know, but was channeling her feelings of love for Naruto and revenge upon her victim. When the steps were finished, she leapt over the Uchiha and crossed her arms, drawing the web she had weaved down onto the victim. The reality screw that Sasuke attempted was vetoed, and the man himself was blind and bound. Hinata then turned to view her handiwork and said in a tone one would use with an obstinate retarded child's sage art. Demon Angel Prison Web. It uses nature chakra combined with yin-yang release to create a web that can bind together reality that would be torn by. It is the ultimate weapon of Himura Otsutsuki against the 10 tails. Hinata dragged the bound and crippled traitor over to where Sakura had just finished her personality crisis by becoming Naruto's fangirl to a sickening amount. Hinata, seeing the pinky trying to hang herself from a person that was taken, did the most logical thing in this situation. Catfight. Naruto, seeing this, smiled a bit at how much the late perverted sage would have enjoyed this. Kakashi, after seeing if the catfight would progress to clothes tearing, called Hinata over. Hinata, the seal is still breaking. You need to unlock my white chakra so I can transfer the sage's mark to Naruto. Hinata, after getting the last hairpull word, and strutting over to Kakashi, making sure Naruto's eyes were on her, and gathering her chakra to manifest an angel fist. She pierced a point above Kakashi's chakra core and stood back to watch the chain reaction. It started near the center of his body and moved out from there. Kakashi felt more energized than he ever had and could feel his old scars disappearing. The most interesting part, at least to those watching, was when the white chakra blew away the teacher's mask, revealing that the man had a snaggletooth and 6 self-inflicted whisker marks. Those whisker wounds, as well as the scar on his left eye, both faded. The Sharingan in both eyes faded to his natural colors. He then placed one hand over Sasuke's mark and the other over Naruto's unmarked hand. In a flash of white chakra, the mark and the sage's chakra and blessing was stripped from Sasuke and restored to Naruto. When the transfer was complete, Naruto opened his eyes, showing that the marks of the sun and the moon had been added to his eyes, each orbiting the central circle. Unfortunately, almost as soon as the process was complete, the moon holding Kaguya finally asunder. You think you have beaten me? This isn't even my final form. With a mighty cry, she transformed into a grotesque abomination of a rabbit and a dragon. The dragon? Naruto gaped, her final form is a rabbit dragon. Am I high? Don't worry, kid. So long as the rabbit doesn't start shooting rainbow lasers, you're still fine. Kurama helpfully informed his host. Wait, can giant chakra entities get high? Well, one time in our youth, Matatabi convinced me to try some of her catnip. That was the craziest 3 hours of my life. It had laser bunnies, my den became a slide, and I think I held Shukaku hostage against a horde of monkeys to steal a trippy tie-dye apple. I'm not sure I wanted to know that. Meanwhile, Hinata was staring in horrified awe at the confusing monster. It looks like it can't decide whether to look cute or menacing and ends up looking wrong on so many levels. Hinata mused, I no longer have any reservations about killing this. Thus, with their personal fears settled, they set out to put down the abomination. Naruto led the attack with Hinata behind. The rabbit dragon turned its head to them and gathered in chakra. When it breathed out its attack, the chakra expelled in a frenzy of unfocused mini-tailed beast balls. One half of the swarm rushed to attack Naruto. These were brushed aside with a calm determination, aided by the tailed beasts themselves. Hinata, on the other hand, had a little harder time. While the mini-balls didn't have the massive destructive capabilities of a full-sized ball, they were still capable of easily killing an unprotected ninja. Hinata was trying to keep up with a myriad of attacks coming at her from all sides, but was forced to stop and use protection of 64 palms to deflect all of the attacks. However, when she had deflected all that she saw, she was beset by a second wave that caught her off guard since she had shut off her Byakugan. She was unable to raise her defense to protect herself. She closed her eyes and spent the last second of her life enjoying that she once again was able to walk next to Naruto. When she opened her eyes, instead of heaven she saw something that she liked far better. Naruto was standing in front of her, blocking the barrage of attacks with a large shield made of chakra in the same design as his eyes. "Don't look so surprised, Hinata-chan," he scolded. "What kind of a boyfriend would I be if I didn't protect my most precious person?" Hinata made no response, mostly because she was preoccupied with staying conscious after Naruto called her his most precious person. Kaguya, on the other hand, voiced a question that Hinata held in the far-off non-distracted part of her mind. "Where did that shield come from? How can it block my attacks?" Naruto turned to look at the Mad Rabbit Goddess. This is the first stage of the true power of chakra, divine protection. It creates a shield of chakra that not even the gods themselves can break. The true power of chakra is the power to protect those precious to you. But that said, Hinata dashed forwards, protected by Naruto's shield, and began to weave her web of opposed chakra for Sage Art, Demon Angel Prison Web. Naruto also charged and began to attack the rabbit dragon head-on, providing the distraction to allow her to finish her web. He began a series of brutal punches to the dragon's face, flowing to punishing strikes to the body. To finish his stream of attacks, he lashed out with a kick that dislocated the right wing of the dragon. With its right wing crippled, the dragon fell into a web prepared by Hinata below and was ensnared. Naruto and Hinata then placed both of their hands on the woman's body, Naruto on top above the chakra core and Hinata on the bottom, forming an X between them. The chakra of their ancestors and predecessors flowed and exchanged between them, and they shouted in unison, "Twin Sage Art." 4-point life seal. The rabbit dragon abomination faded away, replaced by the aging visage of Kaguya. Her third eye had been closed and blinded, and her two wide eyes had dimmed to that of a tired old woman. Her horns crumbled to dust, and the robes that she had made were reduced to rags. Within a few moments she aged to a frail old woman, with no power of any kind. "How could you have defeated me? I am a goddess. The power of the gods was mine." Naruto stared sadly at the old woman who nearly destroyed the world. "That power was never yours. It was forbidden to take that fruit, and you proved yourself unworthy of its powers when you became a conqueror. And now, it is time to pay for your crimes. This world will support you no more, be gone." But that said, Kaguya crumbled into the dust. Her body would have been without the chakra fruit. After a moment of joyous silence, Hinata gathered everyone near the portal to return. She sent the burst of chakra to alert those on the other side to open the portal. That is when everything started to fall apart. Literally. When the portal opened, the ground under it disintegrated into nothingness. Then the nothingness spread in an ever-increasing sphere. The same was happening from every point where Kaguya or Obito had torn open a portal. The same was happening from all of the dimensional holes throughout the elemental nations, though fortunately at a slower rate. The nothingness consumed all that fell into its bounds. Stone, wood, earth, even animals were dispersed into an infinite vacuum. It seemed that our heroes would be consumed by the same fate until the spread stopped, checked by a divine protection shield. "Kakashi, Sakura, Hinata-chan, go ahead of me," Naruto said. "I can stop this, but I have to do it from here. I'll catch up somehow." The remains of Team 7 were quick to respond, but Hinata stayed behind for one last word. "Naruto-kun, promise me that you will come back to me, okay? Hinata-chan, I promise, in both of our ninja ways, I will return." Hinata shouted just before leaving through the portal. "You better, otherwise I will never forgive you." Naruto knelt down on the small circle of land surrounded by void. "I'm sorry, Hinata-chan, but I might have to break that promise." He then turned his attention inwards to the tailed beasts that were in him. "My friends, you can go free in the elemental nations, you don't have to stay here to die with me. We will all stay with you to the end, just as our father would have wanted. Thank you, my friends. It's good to have you here to the end." Naruto then sat in a meditative position and began to form shields of divine protection around every hole in the dimension, preventing any further destruction. When he had formed shields around only half, he was already near death. When he reached 90% of them, he had no chakra left to form anymore. He used nothing but will and stubborn life force to power the last 10%. When the last shield was formed and his friends were safe, he released the tailed beasts through the portal to the elemental nations and allowed himself to die. After an endless eternity of floating through the empty void of death, Naruto heard a voice for the first time since he died. "Well, if it isn't the big hero himself. Congratulations, kid, and welcome. We've been waiting for you to show up. Quite the impressive performance, defeating an enemy with the gift of the gods and receiving the true power of chakra from the Shinju. Truly, you're the chosen one." Naruto turned to face the voice and suddenly found himself standing in front of a table set for four. At the table across from where our hero was standing sat a man with a woman to his right. The man stood only slightly taller than Naruto, with a closely trimmed head of black hair. He was wearing a Western-style suit that had words sewn into the fabric in different languages. The ones that could be read were names of the most famous deceased, with a special place on the back for those who dared to summon the death god. A mask and a sword were attached to the man's platinum belt. The woman, on the other hand, was paying almost no attention to Naruto. The only part of her that could be clearly seen was her head of wild red hair, bent over a piece of paper. After a minute of awkward silence, she lifts her head, revealing a tanned heart-shaped face with gray eyes that seemed confused for a second before she made eye contact with Naruto when her face lit up in joy. Alright. My eternal boy toy has arrived. I mean, the human has ascended and become a true god. She then stood up to her full height, a few inches shorter than said boy toy, showing off her open black kimono and the leather dominatrix that the kimono was supposed to cover, as well as teasing plenty of her D-cup breasts. She then walked over and started to drag the confused blonde while talking animatedly. I'm Yami, but you can call me mistress. The boring guy at the table is Shinigami, but he works all the time. It's all souls this and dead people that. But we're going to have lots of fun together, okay? I have an entire list of things we're going to do together. We'll start with getting you some new clothes, then I'll teach you why you'll call me mistress. How does that sound? Before Naruto could answer, a pair of hands pulled the divine dominatrix's hand off of the teen's arm. The next thing Naruto knew, he had been turned around and his face was being smashed into a chest that equaled Tsunade, barely covered by an adjusted white kimono. Leave Naruto alone. I haven't had anyone to date for eternity. You had those dates with Shinigami, so I got first dibs on the man meat. After telling off the god, the new woman pulled Naruto's face from her valley and let Naruto stand, making them about equal in height. She had pink hair and a cut, but in the back it was bundled into two ponytails. On her forehead was a suspiciously familiar purple rhombus. I'm Kami or Megani. Although, I would prefer to be called a slave by you, Master Megani giggled. I've been so terribly lonely without any company. Could you offer me some assistance? Naruto, having tuned out most of what she said, finally realized what was bugging him about the woman's appearance. Aha. That's what it is. You look like a combination of my girlfriend and my first two crushes. Wait, did you say something? Megani hung her head and began to tear up. Does Master not like my looks? I tried to be the best for him. I failed the Masters. At this point her mood took a complete turnaround as her hair turned to well-combed silver that reached to her waist and the diamond disappeared. Punishment, please. I deserve to be thoroughly spanked for being such a bad slave. Master should just tie me up and use me. At this point Yami cut and you do not get to hog the entire dating scene of immortality. The gears finally clicked in the newest god's mind. Wait, dating? As in, boyfriend-girlfriend? Sorry, but I'm taken. I would never cheat on Hinata-chan. He even made an X with his arms to show he was serious. At this both Megani and Yami had identical perverted leers. I love it when new fresh meat gets all dedicated to a boyfriend. We could both have our fun if you're willing to share. Master is definitely good enough for two slaves, I agree with the harem. What are you two talking about? The sage was cut off by the two goddesses tackling him and trying to strip him of his solidified chakra construct clothes, taking turns to try to steal kisses from him. If this is part of a date, I'm definitely going to take Hinata on one as soon as I get back with a stretcher and Mednin nearby, just in case. Fortunately, or not depending on your point of view, they were interrupted by the only other male in the area. Girls. I know you are excited about this, but we need to get down to business. Naruto needs to be briefed on his new status and sent on his first assignment. After a few seconds with no response, he physically lifted the girls and scolded them. You can have your fun later, just add your avatars to his home dimension. At this they again got their pervy leers and glanced at each other, mentally making plans. Naruto Uzumaki Shinigami began once they had all been seated back at the table. You have ascended beyond any human and more than succeeded in fulfilling your destiny. You were only supposed to stop Kaguya. When you gained the power of the Shinju we were impressed. When you killed Kaguya, then stopped the destabilization of your home dimension, we knew that you had ascended. Wait, what? Destabilization? I wasn't supposed to gain the true power of chakra or kill Kaguya. What even was supposed to happen? Yes, well, we actually only expected you to seal Kaguya again, everything else went far beyond our expectations. Then the destabilization happened unexpectedly. This sort of thing has only happened rarely, but when multiple people screw with a space-time continuum, like with forming portals to other dimensions or abusing time travel, then the fabric of the universe unravels and, as you saw, everything is consumed by a great void. You are actually the first to fully stop the destruction of a dimension in progress. Unfortunately, your fix will only last 10 years max. This then leads me to your first mission. We will alter your dimension to a more flexible state, then send you back to patch up the holes and prevent any existing ones from spreading. Teleportation, dimensional holes, and time travel. I can't use any of them or let anyone else use them, right? Then that means I have to destroy Hurration, prevent the use of Kamui, and keep Kaguya from being resurrected. But wait, if there's no teleportation or dimensional gaps, can we still summon? This is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Well, the Hurration is okay, because of the sealed nature of the teleportation, it ends up pulling the person to a spot with space folding, rather than space tearing. Your father really was a genius. The summoning jutsu acts as a vehicle for the summon, rather than the passageway that other ninjutsu use. The same goes for other time-space ninjutsu with a basis in Fuin Jutsu. The dimensional tearing of the Mangekyo Sharingan is the problem. Thus we are tasking you additionally with the eradication of the Uchiha clan with their cursed eyes, along with any who use them. But Sasuke tried to kill you and is a dick. Just kill him, your life will be much easier. But Kakashi can be saved by unlocking his white chakra. No big deal there. But what about? Just shut up and let me finish explaining. Shinigami materialized his scary business elf behind his social body by the force of his aura of terror. As I was saying, you need to destroy the Uchiha clan, prevent any of their reality-screwing ninjutsu, then stop the impure world resurrection from ever being used. The use of Hurration and summoning jutsu are fine. Those are your main objectives. Now the best way. At this point Megami cuts in. Since this is your dimension, we can only send you back to the day of your birth. You can change a few things about yourself along the way, as fits your status. However, I could add a few things to make your world more interesting, if my master commands it. She topped this off with a wink and the addition of a few inches of breathing room to the bust of her kimono. Yami then cut in to speak her piece. Those holes in space-time will allow some things from other dimensions to wander in. Make it worth my while, and I will help you with them. She made her point by reaching under the table to pet his leg, to the blonde's discomfort. Now girls, before you go off for playtime, I have something personal to talk to our newest member about. Shinigami roughly pulled Naruto to his feet and looked him dead in the eye. Naruto Uzumaki, you have shown a stubborn reluctance to take a life. By now the god had started to clench his hands. Do you know what that means to a god of death? Do you have the slightest idea what that does to me? By now the god was nearly breaking down in his tears when he suddenly hugged the disoriented blonde. You saved me so much work. Thank you, Uzumaki. If I can get caught up with paperwork, I will gladly lend whatever help I can for anything you need. Okay. Naruto was thoroughly confused by the mood swings from the stoic-seeming deity. Hell no, what happened here? I can't let my reputation be ruined. Naruto was definitely sweat-dropping at the difference. Right. I leave you to your fun. Just be careful, boy. The girls tend to be clingy. Once Shinigami faded away, Naruto was instantly flanked by Megami on his right and Yami on the left. Playtime. They simultaneously cooed into his ears. Well, would you look at the time? I gotta go save my world now, talk to you later. Naruto quickly dashed from their grip and sped through the winding corridors, thinking only of getting back home. He ran through endless corridors of doors until he finally reached a door marked Elemental Nations and decorated with a map of the continent. The fleeing god slipped in and closed the door behind him. Not even a full minute after our blonde hero had entered, his two friends were outside the door conspiring with each other. How dare he reject us? Even if he is taken, he should have gladly made a harem. We need to punish him and get him to accept us. I suggest Operation Femme. Sounds good. Now for Avatar's dibs on that world version of his girlfriend. Dibs on Aang. Fine, I'll take that weird girl on his team though. Sakura. The pink-haired one. No, the other one. You want the Uchiha? No, the other one. Uo, that flat-chested girl who Danzo made think she was a guy. Suits you nicely. Thus giggling to each other they entered the room. When Naruto turned around to examine the room, he was confronted with a full-length mirror and a floating panel right next to it. When he approached the panel, it lit up, displaying the words. User. Naruto World. Elemental Nation Settings. Video game. New game. Continue. New game plus. Options. What even is a video game? I know what a game is. Whatever, new game plus sounds cool. Once he pressed the button, the screen grew and changed to a list of different options, each with a price written to the side of it. A text box appeared proclaiming welcome to the Divinity Shop. Here you use divinity earned in battle and by doing significant feats to use bonuses for your next game. Divinity carries over to all subsequent games, so don't be afraid to purchase bonuses. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Inherit relational levels 20. Relationship levels. Wait, does that mean that Hinata-chan will still be my girlfriend? I have to take it then. It's my duty as a good boyfriend for his most precious person. Cue a pair of perverse giggles from the void. Huh. Wonder where that came from? Inherit Jutsu 800. If inheriting relationship levels means I still get Hinata-chan, then this must mean I get to keep all my, definitely yes. Or perverse giggling. Shadow clones. SHHHH, he'll hear us. Ninjutsu skills 1700. Definitely want that. Ninjutsu skills 1000. Sadly, I don't have any worth spending to purchase this. Ninjutsu skills 1000. Do I want it, but can I afford it? Ninjutsu skills 750. I sadly don't have enough skill to make this worth the cost. All jutsu skills 2500. If I had more divinity, I would definitely take this. Titles and costumes 150. Sounds interesting enough to go for it and figure out what it does. Recipes 50. Cooking skills 50. I don't really have any of either, except for ramen. Inherit Ryo 1000. I wonder how much I had when I died. Double Ryo 600. No one would turn down extra money. Experience X 510. Experience X 2 1000. Experience X 10 3000. 10 times the experience, most definitely yes. Unlock event calendar 10. Sounds important, I'd better take it. Unlock Jutsu Maker 100. Alright. More. Deep Bingo Book Info 15. Deep Mission Record 10. Cheap and useful. Increase starting health 250. Increase starting chakra 250. Increase starting chakra control 250. I want all three, I'll be super awesome. Inherit consumables 200. Inherit equipment 750. I don't really have any of either that are of importance. Sage's chakra full 5000. True power of chakra 3500. Sage's chakra yang power 2000. All-tailed beast chakra 1000. I'll need to get these all later, but I want to be able to start with all of my tailed beast friends with me. I could protect them this time. Double divinity 100. Map data 10. Total divinity 7611. Sweet. With these bonuses I can definitely do this. Believe it. At this proclamation a faint voice from nowhere whispered loudly, it's going to be fun breaking him of that catchphrase. Don't let him hear you, we can't let him know we're here, otherwise he won't let his guard down. I wonder where those voices are coming from, must be the wind. Now what can I afford? Once Naruto finished his selection the screen displayed them in a list. R level, Jutsu, Title, Ryo, Ryo X2, XPX10, Calendar, Maker, B Book, M Record, Health plus Chakra plus C Control plus TP Container, Divinity, Map, are these the bonuses you want for your next game? Once the question was answered in affirmative, the void that the room consisted of took the shape of a map of the elemental nations, as a voice of the fourth Hokage started a narration. Once upon a time there existed a monstrous beast with 10 tails. It was unkillable and indestructible as it rampaged across the lands. No man could stop the beast until the Sage of Six Paths appeared. The man used the power of the gods to seal away the 10-tailed beast inside himself. For a time there was peace, as the sage used the power of the gods to awaken chakra in people's hearts. The sage on his deathbed split the chakra of the 10-tailed beast into 9-tailed beasts to prevent the return of the 10 tails. He left them with his will to preserve peace in the world. However, the peace was not to last. The hearts of men became corrupted and craved more power. They looked at the tailed beasts as mindless beasts of destruction to be used, and one by one they captured them and sealed them in warriors as weapons. 3 times the world was thrown into chaos as the nations fought each other, each war more destructive than the last. Eventually, after the Third War, a time of relative peace settled on the land. However, even this weak calm could not stand for long. One night, the strongest of the tailed beasts, the 9 tails, suddenly appeared in the middle of the village hidden in the leaves, Konohagakure, and began to wreak destruction. Thus did the beginning of the end come to be. Wow, that makes my life sound a lot more dramatic. I wonder if I could get him to write history lessons for Iruka-sensei. Anyway, I wonder when I'll be sent back to. I'll probably go right when I get back from my training trip with the pervy sage. Or maybe right when I become a genin, that'd be nice. I'd like to become a chunin this time and give Hinata-chan the support she needs. Whenever I go back I just hope I don't have to wait too long before I can get into the action. When the narration finished Naruto felt himself falling into the map as well as his body shrinking, reverting back to its former state. When he fully came to, he was startled by the sounds present around him. Was that the Kyuubi that just roared? Am I in my mindscape? Where am I? When am I? Why can't I move? For indeed our hero seemed bound in some way with a soft fluffy material that he couldn't seem to break free of. When he turned his attention from the sounds to the sights, he was even more confused. At the perceivable edge of his vision were many things that should not have been there. Even worse, those things moved to stay at the edge of his vision wherever he looked. There was a red bar, a blue bar, a picture of his body in miniature, a miniature book, as well as a representation of the seal that was not yet on his stomach. Wait, not yet on his stomach. I've returned to the day of my birth. I have to wait 12 years to do anything. As the fourth Hokage and his wife passed into the grip of the death god, their son wailed for his own tragic fate. Thanks for watching my video, see you next time, till then sayonara.